Alright, let's freaking. There was something to, like, there's like a map action to do in front of the ship, but whatever. Alright. We on our way to Lenegis.
Yes.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis?
Nope. I should have Lenegis again.
This is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
And angry.
Defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
I mean, then why are you dressed like a farmer?
Our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
Yeah.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shion can finally get rid of her thorns.
Hopefully. Theoretically. I mean, we still don't freaking know.
Shion?
Huh? Yeah.
Shion, what's been with you, girl? Too much time on the farm? Too much crops in the sun? Fire's out, bedtime. Nobody's asleep.
Where? Shion?
Use your big boy sentences. Where Shion is not a sentence. Your party disbanded.
Where'd Shion go? How could she just...
Yeah, friggin' it's hard wanting to press forward near the end of the game because it's like all story exposition.
Yep.
Shion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay?
Bitch, does she look okay?
Yes, now it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Nope, no maidens here. Just Shion.
Stay out of my way.
Or I'm gonna water you. It's so scary.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
She's gonna water your crops, bro.
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
Then shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
pull that watering gun handle trigger. Yeah, that's right, Shion. You was a little bitch. That's what I fucking thought. You won't water my crops. Get your ass inside and make my dinner, woman. Give me that. I water the crops. I'll grow the wheat. Right?
No.
No, Alphen doesn't grow the wheat.
Back when I was stabbed.
No.
Why doesn't Alphen grow the wheat?
He doesn't.
That wasn't the first time. The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Cool.
Couldn't die. So you're immortal? How's that even?
Tell me how is something like that possible?
I mean, when I control Shion, she sure as hell can die a lot.
They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why. But my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
Die before your death.
Yeah, don't know shit.
Thorns free themselves. It will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape.
Now that's a
I want to
twist.
believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
I can't take any of this exposition seriously when we're all dressed like fucking farmers.
Yeah, but you.
Yeah.
And then Law's got the damn rat pigs on his arms.
It's all was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
So,
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans. You chose to fight with us.
this entire game was just Shion's suicide mission.
And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
Yep. Now ain't that a kick in the twists?
That was the plan.
But then I fell in love with you, Alphen, and now I don't want to die.
But then I met all of you. And
Da 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 da. That.
before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
I can't take any of this fucking seriously. We got rat pig patches on our overalls, for Christ's sake.
Let's hope yet.
Yep.
We got hoodles on our heads.
There's still time.
Hoodles on our hat.
It's
Poodle's
pointless.
great.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well.
And then there will be nothing left to farm.
Only a suspicion at first. But ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis. When the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
It will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renis Alma on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
too much. It's way too much. When this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this.
So we know why Shion was acting like.
Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Now we know why Shion was acting like kind of a jackass at the start.
Dying. It's no better than being a slave. How can you endure this? It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me?
We're farmers. We're the backbone of the economy. Without us, there is no existence.
That it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
Roar. Alfie.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
Double hoodle action.
Me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys.
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope. Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns.
Gasp.
The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live.
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
I'm gonna be really pissed if it turns out the red woman is Naori this whole time.
I've already lost everything I
Yeah.
had once.
Like, I'm gonna be so mad if it turns out that the woman in red is freaking the bitch who was supposed to die 300 years ago. That Alphen didn't know the fate of.
No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
Sorry, Alphen, it doesn't really fucking matter what you say. Look at how y'all are dressed. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm not, but you know what I mean.
You're so stubborn.
Bitch, I need you. You're the best healer in the game right now.
Thank you.
She finally opened up her heart to us. Let's go beat the game and stuff.
Right now. In a little while longer. I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you.
Initiate Doki Doki.
So let's go. On to Lenegis.
With our stupid eyes and our owl hats and our Farmer John outfit. Here we go. Of course, I gotta fucking talk to everybody.
End of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands. So many clues. Yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Well, that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelagian. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
Everybody's story.
How you holding up?
Yep.
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again.
I also want to be able to touch somebody without fear of killing them.
That doesn't make it any less special or important for her.
You know what I mean?
I hope she gets what she wants.
No.
My hands are too strong. They're too
I
big.
have my own dreams, but a world without her.
Everything I touch dies. Oh, Dinkelberg, you want to come over here and give my wife a celebratory hand touch?
More and more keeps
No,
getting
that is
taken
so
from
bad.
her.
Yeah, Timmy's dad just is trying to murder a dude. Fucking damn Timmy's dad. Oh, that's my tiny box of dreams. Oops, sorry for shattering your box of dreams, Dad. Oh, don't worry, my dreams were shattered years ago. How many years ago? How old are you again?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that's the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
So you know why? So you know how she was always like, we have a mission, let's just go. Let's just go, blah, 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 let's just go.
Completely blind to everything she was going through.
The whole reason she was so curt and distant with Alphen is she didn't want to get close to him because she didn't want to, you know, friends.
Really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before.
I'll be right back.
And you'd be an even better.
I'll be talking to my party peeps.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way.
Oh, excuse
Over
me.
time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Pain and grudges. Talk to me, Law. What's the skinny?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
Doesn't mean he's the best, Law.
But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her. No matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
A little bit of both.
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point. But I guess I'll think it over more then. Okay?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh. Talk to me, Shishi. What's going?
You doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was
I have
your friend?
returned.
And I have still talking to party.
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Dahnans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me.
And now I love you more and more,
Because until
Alphen.
that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two. And before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends.
Aww.
It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other
Yeah,
people.
I care about the person, not the stuff.
Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
So then how about none of us just ever die again?
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah. I think you may be right about that.
Members have returned to your party. Can I actually play the damn game now?
Then let's go.
Let's board the starship, the ship to the stars, onward, upward, and outward. Man, I kind of want to make a magic emblem so I can spam this stupid shining light bomb of homing shots and stuff.
For Lenegis.
Actually, Shion has some title she doesn't have yet. I can't forge the damn Mystic Crest, you jackass! And what the hell is the ultimate ingredient? Ah! Such unbridled, untapped fury. Let's go to the stars. Let's play Star Wars. You ready for Star Wars?
Well, it's
maybe.
the moment of truth.
We're just humble farmer from Missouri.
So we better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't
And now we're going to a new planet? Oh, golly. You know what that means, don't you? Time to terraform. Time to ruin another planet.
You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Please don't call it the Shion or the Arise or something stupid.
We went through to find her. We should give her one, right? I was thinking something.
Stop right there, Law.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
Bitch, since when do you get to name my starship? I hate you, Alphen. You're gonna go with it.
Sounds
I hate you so much, Alphen. You're gonna go for it.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but, well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Why couldn't you just let me name it the Hoodle?
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone.
Then we need to make it back alive.
We need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
Man, I don't even get to name my own ship. Stupid. You know what I would have named it?
What would you have named it?
Jefferson.
Jefferson?
Yep. It would be the Jefferson Starship. Dean would be so proud.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah. Yep, Supernatural.
It's a good show. Fucking long show. It's a good show, though.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
That it's not
I
butter.
mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more
excuse
like
me.
a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
Except some people can wield death magic and most others can't. But yeah, completely the same.
Ways to use your time than napping.
No, there's not.
We should take a moment to familiarize
Shut up,
ourselves with
Dohalim.
facilities on board before arrival.
Napping is the best thing in life.
The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there.
Bear back really quick.
I gotta go explore the goddamn ship.
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
I like it.
In that case, she's all yours.
Oh, gee, thanks. Yay, we disbanded again.
You seem a little...
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years. That's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though. You too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole
Alright,
life.
I am back.
For as long
And
as
my
I
party
can
disbanded, so I gotta go talk to everybody again.
But in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
So, you know.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse. But then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Gotta talk to everybody again, and then we'll get everybody back, and then they'll probably leave again, and I'll have to talk to everybody again.
Hey, Alphen, listen to this. So Law
Probably.
and I were just talking, and
Hey, shut up!
It turns out Law loves me.
All flustered.
only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
I agree.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Oh, yeah, there you Law. Yeah, okay, Law. Shut up,
I'm
Law.
no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Yeah, 300 years ago.
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
I guess I have to agree with Alphen Oni-chan.
Seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
Rawr. Okay, that's 2 people down at once. That's good. Kisara, where are you? You're hanging out in the here. Looking at the nap pods.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Until we get hit in a meteor storm.
There caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
Because it's meant for cryostasis.
Healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there.
Yep.
Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lennigus. That's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Something like that.
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
Must have been a hell of a nap.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
I don't ship it.
What do you mean?
I love
With
you.
the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Okay, so let's see something. Oh, so I'm reading something real quick. Okay. Alright, now I gotta go talk to Dohalim again. Dohalim, yeah, you good? You standing there good, buddy? Hey there, Dohalim, good buddy.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Hell if we know.
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there. They didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
Yep.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to.
So they're so scrubby they don't even get the right to own slaves.
Even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
I was a baby.
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Yeah, nobody can grab her ass and just be like, oh, it's a joke.
Sorry.
They would get a freaking handful of bush. Death bush.
Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez. Give backhanded compliments much?
I mean, she could have just given you a backhanded backhand.
Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
Oh no, that's my woman.
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
Probably.
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
I mean, considering she's the one who stole it from us in Pelegion, yeah, I'd agree.
We need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
Will we, though? I'm blasting. Ready to just watch me start blasting?
I'm ready.
It'll be a good time for all.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting to welcome that, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
Probably not.
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
Way to raise the we're gonna have to fight everybody while we're here flag, Grinwell.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right?
Yep.
And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
As Bender would say, forbidden schmerschmaiden.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Indeed.
Oh, you're getting notifications, huh?
But it's been over 300
I am.
years since
Who's getting at you?
You can't seriously
no one.
Waltz right into
Then
the
what was the
place at
notification?
this time.
It was, but
There's
it
only
wasn't.
one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us
I'm
in,
listening.
I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
I mean, it'd be nice to actually have some real control over my characters for once.
It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Forbidden Zone. Members who have left return to your party. Yay! Oh, come on!
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Yeah, I
Would
agree.
you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
No more skits, please. Hey, no more skits. But even if there's no more skits, then we're about to have yet another freaking cutscene. Security is now going to be on high alert. Wait, this doesn't look good.
Nope.
This looks the exact opposite of what you'd expect from, you know, what is essentially heaven. Everything's broken, electrified, and on fire. What the heck happened? Can't really call it an earthquake because there's no earth.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it
Ah,
must have had an effect on the interior
okay,
too.
that makes sense.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I don't
I
care.
would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Ah, shit, people know me up here. Nah, I'm just humble farm from Missouri.
Avaki,
I was gonna say, I don't
I'm
think
glad
that'll
to see
work.
you well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people...
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim. Don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
Yeah, I'll throw some hands. Mix it
I'm
up.
not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this.
Cool, where's the Forbidden
We're all
Zone?
waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone.
Oh, cool, right
Do
to
you
the
have any
point.
idea where we might find
First
it?
time Dohalim's actually useful.
What business could you possibly have there?
Forbidden business.
The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Okay.
Have you seen Faria yet?
Again, Forbidden Zone.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
Enough. Avakir.
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back?
Forbidden Zone.
You know it can only result in pain for you both.
Forbidden Zone.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Doe?
Don't call me Doe. Jesus Christ. We ain't that deep. We ain't that deep. If Dohalim was that deep, he could sure as hell pull better man than that.
So who's Faria?
Oh my god, I just pick up the controller and more talking.
Oh yeah.
More talky
What
bits.
Avakir said is true. It would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danins poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
Oh, thank God, no skit.
Among us should probably...
Oh, come on!
You thought you were free, but you were not.
And homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city.
Normally, I would end up skipping like all the skits at this point in the game.
Questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy
But
from Dana.
I'd do it for the stream watchers.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
I'd love to, lol, but
We don't have
skits.
time to stop and chat. Let's move.
Oh, good, Alpha. No time to stop and chat, which means we can't stop and chat. Oh my God, we're stopping to chat.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind? What do you mean? Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration to avoid all this chaos.
Chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry. That probably sounded weird, huh?
I wanted to just throw some hands.
Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Okay. Is what I would say if there was friggin', you know. Okay, I can actually do stuff now. In all my years, never have I seen such potent healing arts. Thank you so much for taking the time to help an old woman like me. The fancy parfait recipe. A lavish parfait filled to the brim with fruit and cream. Though extremely satisfying to eat, eating one risks developing more than a few cavities.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my
He's dancing up there. He's dancing.
Oh yeah, dance, dance.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become.
Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Centuries of hate,
More
perhaps?
than I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First, Lenegis mutates beyond recognition. Now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
He doesn't know. Should we tell him? Crown contest is over, old man. I already won. Sort of. I got some strawberries. Who the hell am I even running around as? Shion? Okay. They all look the same now, it's hard to tell.
Oh no.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned.
He returned.
I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Quite.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your
Push him off the edge. Push him over the edge. He's being a dick. Just running and talking.
Is everything
Favorite
okay?
game.
You look a little lost.
Hmm? Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it?
Now I'm
If
here.
you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
I think it'd be great if I could play the game.
Idea what's happened to the city after
It
all.
might be, yeah.
They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said Zoogle would stop listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning.
I mean, he can do it because he's the Sovereign.
Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
So nobody's gone to Rena at all then.
In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Tohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away?
Clearly he can.
What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danan. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made Sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
The one that Alpha never got to complete.
For sure. It certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 Sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off-limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
Indeed.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction.
And then they could point us to more cutscenes. Come on. Jesus fucking Christ.
Their own kind too.
It's putting me to sleep over here.
None of them seem to mind.
Yeah, there's a bit of story going on.
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Oh my god.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
So I'm Dohalim now, got it.
They look up to you, that's all.
Yeah.
I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
So I'm Dohalim now,
I can
okay.
barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
No, we just watched JoJo!
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Excellent. Oh, come on, I just took 2 fucking steps.
Nobody left to run the show. I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, they're sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld. And all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Oh my god. Well, thankfully that's a subquest, so I don't have to do it. But it's a subquest, so I gotta fucking do it.
Oh no.
You want to know which lord I support? Why, are you out canvassing for someone? I'm with His Excellency, Erwolsi Teldiles. You probably know him better as Lord Balsef. I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute. Believe me, I realize he can be an aggressive man. What those people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. It's fair to say that the House of Teldilis, or Teldiles, or whatever, doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that. But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us harm. Of that, we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house. I owe so much to His Excellency. I could never dream of serving any other lord.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter...
Lord Dohalim, you have returned. Ah, I see you've brought aides with you. Do you remember who I am, my lord? Surely you must, yes. Not only do I support House Ilkaris, but more specifically his lordship personally. So much so, I've been trying to share my appreciation of his lordship to any who will listen. In fact, I was planning to publish my next extensive writings on the subject through this very terminal for all to read and enjoy. But since the lines appear to be cut due to the recent tumult, I've been unable to upload them. I know, since you're all here, I'll just read them aloud. Ahem. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed House Ilkaris, and his name, Lord Dohalim. Music is his passion, the arts his great love. The scores of boorish, uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic is his posture, why the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Once he becomes our sovereign, Rena shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Until that glorious day comes, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. Well, what did you think, my lord? I poured my whole heart into hoping to capture your essence. Wait, I forgot to mention anything about his lordship's love for collecting things. I must take this time while the lines are down to append it. Only then will my masterpiece be complete. Yeah, okay.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain.
Well, I never. To think anyone would try to tear me away from House Valkyris. What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Dohalim or that dreadful Lord Almadria, do you? You don't? Well, don't scare me like that. To answer your question, I come from a family that has served House Valkyris for generations. Indeed, I'm doing all that I can to support Lord Ganabelt behind the scenes so that he might emerge victorious. Many think him to be a cruel man, but I insist they're utterly mistaken. Though I won't deny he can be strict, he puts Rena's interest front and center like no one else. Why, he advocates rather than stay confined to Lenegis, we should try to get on with colonizing Dana and expand our horizons. That way, we'll become the masters of both worlds and overturn the current minority status on Dana's surface. Oh, excuse me. That is why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. It is a pursuit of power for the advancement of all of our kind. It is what makes him an exemplary lord, a model above all others. Though I was unable to accompany him myself, my two sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. As their father, it fills me with endless pride.
Ganabelt was so horrible.
Oh, I still gotta keep going to talk to the people. But there's nobody left in this stream.
Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Ren.
Seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Because he's a dick, Law. It doesn't look like there's going to be much combat happening in this map.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Pardon me.
This area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House Kynaris. I must ask you to depart at once. Surely you don't claim to be ignorant of our famed house, ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almadria? If so, I urge you to listen well. In fact, I bid you listen carefully regardless. Have you ever noticed how in the history of Lenegis, only a few women lords have emerged to compete in the crown contest? Many have theories as to why this might be, but Lord Almadria quashed the doubts of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father and previous family master, she also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. She is a woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, who gives her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. Except we beat her ass, so whatever. Truly, Lord Almadria is a woman of talent. No one in all of Rena better exemplifies the virtues of our nation's meritocracy. Soon the age of a glorious woman sovereign reigning over Lenegis shall be upon us at last. Nobody tell her we killed her.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true.
Alright, so let's go over here first. See if there's anything over here. Alright, what do you got to say, old bones?
Ridiculous.
How loathsome. Oh, I was just reading about Volron. Can I help you?
Okay.
I was always an ardent supporter of Lord Uvagil Hildris myself. Were it not for his sudden death down on the surface, I likely still would be. In my eyes, Lord Uvagil is the true Water Lord. I don't believe for a second that he perished in some accident like they say. As for how Volron runs Ganatheros, don't get me started. I hear he enslaves not only Danans, but even his fellow Renans. We may live in a society where to the victor go the spoils, but his actions go against what we as a people stand for. Besides, just what sort of family line is this House Ignisari of his anyway? I'd never heard of it until he came along, which means they must be among the lowest dregs of society. That such an ignoble lineage could suddenly produce an astral artist capable of ascending to lordship is unheard of. None of it makes any sense. Not to mention all of the upheaval around here of late. What is happening to our people?
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganatheros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, they don't see them as murderers, they see them as the ones.
They're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Yeah.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive.
Yeah.
But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Renan, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah, boredom.
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters.
They were just bad because they were bad.
Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
No. Yeah, you are. A little bit.
Not at all.
Shut up, Alphen. What do you know?
Danan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you...
No, but everything they did to Danans makes them bad.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust.
Well,
as a fellow human being above all else.
Shion now, but early Shion who said she didn't give a shit about Danans or Renans.
That's true.
Oh, thank God I can keep going. Keep exploring, then I guess. Getting grape. Oh my God, every 2 fucking steps!
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfrikt Milgrath, the former Lord of Cyslodia, if memory serves.
So then this Han-freaked whatchamacallem
Nah.
is the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
Yeah, why should he?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
I'd love to be getting my moves on. Believe me, Law, I would. But everybody has to stop and have a 5-minute long freaking conversation every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
No?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was—
Shut up.
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still— kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit.
Bitch, shut up or you're next.
But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
So that's the bitch we saw in the flashback with Dohalim.
Yep.
That's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
And you're just a dumb bitch who's going wah wah wah. My husband tried to kill someone and got killed for it. Or something. Oh, hey, how you doing? This is bad. That's bad. It ain't good.
Yeah, it ain't good.
Dohalim.
Got him.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Say some
Did you
more.
mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
I did.
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest.
Yeah?
And to ensure continued
Yeah.
coexistence.
What was that?
I have no intention of expiring
Sorry.
before I do so. There are far
Why were
too
you
many
speaking
questions I
Spanish?
still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as
I
much
had
reason
to
kill
set
me
up
as
my
she
mom's
does.
new phone because it came in today.
Oh. La.
Forgive me. Some things are best
Yeah.
left unsaid.
What kind of phone did she get?
Oh, the new iPhone.
Gross. What is it now? The iPhone XX Turbo Chocolate Chip Frosty with Whipped Cream Edition?
No, this one's the 13.
So another one that doesn't come with a headphone port?
I mean, to be fair, she doesn't use it, so.
Doesn't matter, it should still have it. They shouldn't remove a basic feature and then start charging you extra for it. I was expecting to have to throw freaking hands up here, but I'm kind of upset that I'm not throwing any fucking hands.
Yeah.
Like, if I wanted to talk no jutsu, we'd be watching Naruto right now.
That is true. I'll be right back.
Don't worry, I'm still gonna be doing what needs doing. Yep, saw that coming.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah. It must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnadin. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagin. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagin and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
Okay.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society.
And then I killed him, man.
Fate was not so benevolent.
Took him out.
What happened?
I took him out.
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait. Don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
Yep.
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Dahnans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Probably not.
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right.
Avakir's watching me. Watching me from the sidelines.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
No, I can buy treats now. Dope. I think losing... Yeah, this is worth it. What things do I have to sell? Oh, I got the 3 boss fish to sell.
Is it finally letting you do stuff and things?
Kinda.
Oh no.
Like ooh, those ossified stems are worth a hell of a lot. I mean, it's letting me buy treats for all party healing, so that's kind of cool. But also new armor. Oh, that's weaker than what she had on. Oh, that's significantly weirder than what she had on. Dang. Okay. Forge weapon. Wow, that shit. That's just one. That's funny. Historia Rene. What the fuck? Oh, she's equipped with the burning blood. That's right. You freaking. Can I actually? Can I make the fence yet? I want to make the fence. And of course, I sold too many Lumicores. I still need more Dark Mane, man. Like, her burning blood is just really freaking powerful.
Have you guys...
I make pancake.
It feels kind of surreal to make people happy with something I made.
Aww. But yeah, her next gun is just one big fucking barrel. Freaking, I almost feel like I should just stop now because, like, we're only gonna be going for like another 20 or so minutes, 30 or so minutes. Combat.
Damn it, Lenegis soldiers.
Fight me.
You can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight. Oh, I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menancia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one. I couldn't make it in time. An astral art?
That's my cue.
Shut him down.
Radiant, here! No ammo! I call back into the fray! Radiant!
Give him the business. Business has been given.
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
Yay.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Harris.
How could you see their eyes? They were covered by a helmet.
Devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Oh man, platinum dog tags. Those are gonna sell for mucho big bucks. That's a big Zeugle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go kill it. I'ma fight it. Juggle puppers.
Let's dispose of the trash.
In a bind?
These ones can run rings around us.
That was easy.
I need to be stronger.
Hey, I got Dark Manes now. And you're gonna give me some Manted Claws, right? Oh, Aqueous Impact just giving it to him. I just gotta get these uses up.
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara.
I'll tear you apart!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
I can carve through... Just getting resolved!
Not today.
You're mine. I don't even know the word defeat.
I'm on it!
Think again. No defense. Ready to go. I never miss.
I'm ready!
Yeah, he did some damage. That basically was the exact same Mantis we fought on Dana, too.
Hey, Poodle's quivering. I think we're about to be real lucky.
Let's see what you got. No further! I'll punch that gun out of your hand! Bring him down! I'm ready!
He punched that gun right out of his hand.
Watch and wait. Who wants to die next?
It's almost too strong. Split it open! Leave the ignoring to me. Another incantation of ruin. Do it! These six has got your name on it!
Aqueous Impact is also just giving him some business.
Alright, I'm back.
I'm still giving it to him.
Beat him up? Good.
Getting some materials that I need to craft some big scary stuff.
Now I'm real mad!
Oh, I got punched in the dome.
Yeah, you got.
This one's got your name on it!
Boost of regeneration!
I'm all stocked up!
A wailing banshee of lightning.
Like people say that at some point these arts get the ability to auto reload themselves. But I don't know if that's like a skill that I unlock normally, or if it's tied to uses or what.
Guess we better be extra.
Grape gels are just HP up, HP heals.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking.
Big Mantis.
Get lost! Eat this! Don't get in my way! As if the normal green colors aren't disgusting enough. A chain between heaven and earth. Where are you going?
He has a hell of a lot of life, man.
You picked the wrong fight.
What spells do I have on here? I have all the good stuff on her that I need.
Back into the fray! Here! Radiant, here! Radiant, here!
This one keeps charging us.
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it. I'll leave it to you.
Here I go!
Can I wonder if I can't reload when I have ammo already in my clip.
I'm all stopped up! Here! Radiant, here! Smash you! Radiant, here! Think again! In here! Radiant, here! I'm out of ammo! I'm all stopped up! Radiant, ready to go! Radiant, here! Radiant, here! Damn it! Do it! Radiant, a whirling struggle! Winds attack now! Keep going! Go for it!
Like I'm just trying to get uses on that bomb skill.
We may be a touch beyond our depth.
We barely got a look at the thing.
There's a handful of enemies here. I'll kill these first while I still have the bonus active.
Dispose of the trash.
A showdown between Blade and Stick. I'm ready. Blow them away.
Oh yeah, just spamming Trey Bentos is kind of the way to go though for maximum just death.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just huge death. Especially when I have 75% extra damage output on it. Got him. Just that fast. She just ends everything now.
Managed to pull through.
Brightstone. Those are new items. I still don't have the item needed to craft the Mystic Crest though, but I can now craft stamina rings.
That's good.
So I think I want to craft a stamina ring. So I think I might just craft a stamina ring with maybe, because stamina ring's base skill is AG half cost 50% of the time. I might want to put one instance of AG cost 20% on it, and then 3 instances of wind on it, and just spam this super big. Like, it'll be doing less damage overall, but I feel like my DPS will increase because I don't have to wait for my AG to keep restoring as often. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just damage. Dohalim, what are you even equipped with, my man? Mystic Crest? That is not a Spirit Bangle, so have a Spirit Bangle. You can have a Mystic Crest, even though you spamming freaking Maelstrom is ridiculously good.
You must consider well if this is the right path.
Alright, go to the next area. I actually probably shouldn't have done this. I probably should have gone back to craft some bigger, better weapons.
Maybe.
Like, I have huge damage, so it's fine, but at the same time...
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
The Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Law, you're up.
I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yeah. I got you. I hear you. I hear you. Alphen time. Alphen time. Ain't no mountain high enough.
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen memories.
Alphen.
Naori.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
Like I want to kill all of you.
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Easily.
Still,
Nah, dog.
At least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds, but neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
I mean, that's kind of the same thing.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
Imaris. Great of Shion. Imaris.
What the hell just happened?
You saw my brain.
Vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
Nuh-uh.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
I mean, you saw the vision. Couldn't you hear the dialogue?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
Before the Great
All
Massacre.
of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happens.
Alphen.
To free Dana from the Renin. I'd like to live
somewhere else. You always stay the same. Hardwired into you.
It's almost like Amco.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that
because I'm 99% sure right up here is a boss. Yeah, we'll save that for next time. I'll do a couple of minutes of just killing. I wish, like, friggin' her overlimit gave her infinite ammo, too. Yeah, like they freaking said. Oh no, it's only broadcasting mic audio. It's the poor connection quality.
I was gonna say, yep, it fixed itself, though.
It still says it's only broadcasting mic audio on my screen.
Oh, I see.
Well, I mean, I'm just going through, doing another quick run through of this area and killing shit and get some extra stuff. Reload, please. Thank you.
Can't get out of this.
I'm out of ammo. Take it. I'm all stuffed up.
Dang it.
Easily be faithful.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Not in your dream. A whirling struggle.
More aqueous impact.
A whirling struggle. Magic hit. Radiant now. Out of ammo.
These fists have got your name on them. I couldn't make it in
I'm
time.
all stuffed up. Stick is dead. Radiant hit.
Oh yeah, more manted claws, more money, more EXP, more everything.
Step back. This one's all law.
This one is all law. You're right. Law. It's all you, brother.
Discourteous, aren't you? Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
Reload, please. Yeah, I guess I can just straight up stop the broadcast at this point, if it's not going to truly fix itself. Alright, we'll come back and beat on whatever boss is at the end of that hallway next time.
Yes.
See ya.